Hello Tamers, I'm Gino, and today we're going to talk about the best green staples in the Digimon card game. In case you haven't watched the other staple videos, this series takes a look at a specific color and identifies what cards you should have if you're interested in playing that color. But first, let's quickly redefine what a staple is in case you haven't seen the other videos in the series. The first example of a staple card is one that is generically good. We're talking Floodgate rookies or a card that can be slotted in every deck, sometimes regardless of strategy, playstyle, or even color. BT8 Hero Amanakawa comes to mind as a card that makes its way into various colored decks. Secondly, a staple card can be a card that is versatile and can find its way into multiple decks regardless of archetype. A good example of this is BT13 Kudamon, who finds its way into various decks from Yellow Vaccine to Shine Greymon. And finally, a staple card is just an essential card. If you don't have these and you like building decks of this color, then you should definitely add these to the binder and not just laying all over your card table. Yeah, we'll be looking at green staples in this video and the prices of these cards. So a quick shopping tip if you're a new player. Many verified sellers on TCG Player offer free shipping on orders over $5, so it's definitely in your best interest to fill up your cart with everything you need in one big order. Then use the cart optimizer to save yourself as much on shipping as possible. I say this because a playset of some of these cards cost more to ship than to actually just buy the card. And finally, if you're shopping along with me today, please use the DigiGuard TCG Player affiliate link in the description of this video so we get a little cut as well. Now, without further ado, these are your green staples. First, we're going to be looking at eggs. First off, we got BT2 Argomon. So Argomon, very simple. Your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, gain a memory. There's really not that many eggs in the game that grant memory, so having one that you're going to get every turn if that Digimon is on the field basically and you swung or did one of your suspending effects, which green loves to do, good egg. Quality staple. We got Kokomon. This is the EX4 Kokomon. When an effect suspends one of your Digimon, draw one. There's not a ton of draw in green, to be honest with you. A lot of green decks you'll see a lot of memory boosts, a lot of trainings, and the reason for that is because green just needs some consistency. It needs search and it needs draw. And this is a great way to draw. A lot of green effects force you to suspend your own Digimon, so this is a good way to just get a quick draw one. Next, we got EX5 Nyaromon. Nyaromon simply has all turns. While this Digimon is suspended, it gets 1000 DP. This is just a nice generic plus 1000 DP that just boosts you all turns. It activates as soon as you swing, so it's nice to get just that little buff, just a little bit extra that you might need. Solid egg. Then we've got Gummymon from EX2. This one, when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, draw one. Again, we're gonna need draw. And suspending Digimon is something that green loves to do. Suspending your opponent's Digimon, suspending your Digimon. So depending on what kind of deck you're building, if you're suspending your Digimon more, then you go with that Kokomon that we talked about earlier. And if you're suspending your opponent's Digimon more, then you want to pick this Gummymon. The other Gummymon, the one that came out in the Double Typhoon Advanced deck, honestly, if you're a green player, you should probably just pick up a Double Typhoon deck or two, because there's a lot of very good green cards in there. Some of them dual color, but many of them that are just mono green we're going to be talking about in this video. So it's a good buy for sure. But this Gummymon is basically green Wanyamon from blue. So if you have a green tamer, when you attack, you draw a card. Again, just a good way to get more draw in green. With the eggs out of the way, we're going to talk about the rookies now. First, we'll get the two easy ones out of the way, your floodgates. So this is your Terriermon floodgate. All turns, your opponents can't gain memory other than by tamer effects. So by slapping this down, you shut off memory boost, you shut off Digimon memory gain effects, etc. He's just a solid floodgate, and he is very, very cheap. I'll only be bringing up the prices if it's more than a couple cents, really. And his counterpart floodgate is Pomumon from BT9. This one, players can't play Digimon by effects. Now, this is both players, and green does like to play Digimon by effects from time to time. So you might have to finagle that, you might have to risk reward it, or just evolve it when it's not your turn anymore, or swing with it and get it off your board. Next rookie we're going to talk about is BT1 Kokuamon. This is kind of a weird choice, but it has the inherited effect of while this Digimon is level 6 or higher, it gains security attack +1, which is like a weird random thing for green. It's really nice to have sec +1 on your rookie for when you get up into level 6. It is a 1-cost Evo though, so that's the only downside. This is just a generically good rookie, and security attack +1 is nothing to scoff at, so I thought I would include it. Next we got Angoramon from BT10. A lot of green decks are playing Tamers. And this Angoramon, when you play a green tamer, draw one. Okay, good, solid, grab yourself a card. And then your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, draw one as the inherited effect. So again, green, you're gonna be suspending your opponent's Digimon by effects. So this is just a way to get some consistent card draw. Next rookie we're gonna look at is BT15 Kunamon. This Kunamon's awesome. It's just generically very good card. You slap him down, on play, suspend him, reveal top 3 cards, and add a green card to the hand. A green card. So you can add a Digimon, a Tamer, an option, doesn't matter. And then it's a body on the board too. So it searches you, it puts a body on the board. Your opponent needs to swing over that next turn or think about dealing with it, or else you're possibly threatening, at the very least, a check next turn. Pretty solid little search. Next rookie we've got is EX2 Terriermon. Again, when you play a green tamer, you're gonna get an effect. This time it's gain a memory instead of draw from the Angoramon. And then the inherited effect is when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gains plus 2000 for the turn. It's a nice little DP boost for green. Notice that it's not become suspended by an effect. So if they block your swing, you're gonna get that plus 2k, which is kind of like a neat little gotcha. Solid rookie. And finally, we're gonna talk about Pomumon from EX3. When an effect suspends this Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So again, like we were talking with the Kokomon earlier, if your game plan is more suspend your guys, well, this helps you both facilitate your game plan and also be aggressive and deal with your opponent's board. The next couple rookies I like to refer to as engines. So first, we're going to take a look at the Palmon engine. He's kind of expensive as far as the cards we've covered so far. The rest are basically bulk prices, but this one is a super rare. So he's going to run you $3 right now, it's looking like. So a playset's going to cost you 12. But the Palmon engine, start of your main phase, one of your opponent's Digimon gains all turns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of their turn. And then the inheritable is when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduce the cost by 1. So this goes hand in hand with the Palmon X antibody that we got in BT15. On play when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then inherited effect when one of your green tamers is played, gain a memory. So basically what you'll do is you'll push out with this Palmon, you'll give the effect to one of your opponent's Digimon so that when it becomes suspended, it loses 2 memory. Then you'll evolve for free, get your free draw, and suspend that Digimon, netting you 2 more memory. It's a really good open to push out and deal with stuff, get you some extra memory. The Palmon engine is definitely green staple worthy. And then the last engine we're going to talk about for rookies is the Double Typhoon engine. So we've got starter deck Terriermon, starter deck Lopmon, and of course the Double Typhoon option card. So starting with Terriermon, main, once per turn, you may play a green tamer or a level 3 Digimon with Lopmon in its name from your hand, with the play cost reduced by 2. Even by itself, if you don't run any other Lopmons or Terriermons, this Terriermon is probably the best piece in this little engine, simply because you're playing your tamers for cheap. And that's always good. And then both Terriermon and this Lopmon we're about to talk about have the same inherited effect. While it's suspended, gain 1000 DP. So if you're running the Nyaromon egg, that's 2k DP that you're going to have whenever you're suspended, which is nice. Lopmon is going to grant one of your Digimon Alliance, and Alliance is a really, really strong keyword. You can use that to buff up and get extra security checks, or you can use it to swing over threats that your opponent probably wasn't ready for you to swing over, especially if you're running the Double Typhoon option card. So Double Typhoon is going to let you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a green Digimon and a green Tamer to your hand and return the rest of the bottom of your deck, and then it gets placed in your battle area. Then the delay effect is you can play a Terriermon or Lopmon from your hand without paying the cost. Now what makes Double Typhoon so great is that you can set up surprise Lopmon Alliance plays. You can set up, oh, I really need to get my memory floodgate out because, hey, the memory floodgate's Terriermon. So you can pop Double Typhoon and slap down that Terriermon. There's other Terriermons we talked about earlier in this video that are really good. So Double Typhoon it really covers all of those. It's a decent search, and slapping down a Terriermon for free is always nice. All right, enough about rookies. Let's move on to champions. Next, we're going to take a look at BT8 Namakemon. Kind of a weird choice, but he's very similar to Kunamon. He has a main phase effect where you can suspend this Digimon to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 green Digimon card among them to your hand. Then you put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is basically dig 3, grab any Digimon, as long as it's green. And that's really solid. Not only can you suspend him, get this search off, but now you can threaten an ace play. Your opponent is like, oh, a 3k body, I can just swing into that. Boom, suddenly Lilymon comes out and bottom decks their 5k, or boom, a Mega Kabuterimon comes out, and now they're swinging into a 10k level 5 that they weren't expecting. So Namakemon, not only a great search, a great consistency piece, again, because green needs consistency, but also great to set up a trap ace play. Next champion we're going to look at is BT14 Togemon. When you would play a green tamer from your hand, by suspending one of your green Digimon, reduce the play cost by 3. So you're playing your tamers down for very cheap. And then his inherited effect is when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduce the cost by 1. It's really good to get down tamers cheap or free. Okay, we're going to see that a lot as we go on through this list. Next, we're going to talk about our 2 restricted cards here. This is Argomon BT2, Digisorption 3. So when you Digivolve, you suspend one of your Digimon to make this cost nothing, which is very strong. And then the inherited effect, which is not limited to once per turn, allows you to play a level 3 green Digimon from your hand suspended without paying the memory cost. So a lot of green top end boss monsters are swinging multiple times, like Heavy Leomon or Saber Leomon can, depending on your setup. And being able to just spit out 2 more bodies is really, really strong. The less strong but still restricted cousin of Argomon here is BT3 Blossommon. Also, this is just a free Digivolve with Digisorption. Suspend something, Evo for 3 less, really solid ultimate. Reason why it's restricted. Similarly, we've got Cherrymon, who is Digisorption 2, so he's going to cost you 1 to Evo at the worst, but his effect is really cool. It's a kind of unique, it's a redirect. So when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you can switch the target of the attack to one of your suspended Digimon. So again, you're gonna be suspending your stuff, especially if you're running Digisorption cards like Cherrymon here. You can suspend your big boss monster, and then when your opponent attacks, force them to swing into it and hopefully die. Really solid generic card. Moving on, we'll take a look at Panjamon. Again, this is the last time we'll talk about it, but playing your tamers for free is great. When Digivolving, you may play a green or blue tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying the cost. So you're playing your memory setter for free. You're playing any of your in-archetype green or blue tamers for free. Really solid card. And then the inherited effect is when you play another Digimon by an effect, one of your Digimon gains rush for the turn. So if you're playing, say, I don't know, Leopardmon, which we may or may not talk about, or some other, maybe Imperial Dramon, or some other deck that plays Digimon out by effect, maybe you have another stack with Argomon. You can just give something rush, which is always strong. Really strong card. Next, we're going to talk about the aces. These ones are going to be a little more expensive than your average card. Lilymon, pretty cheap because it's not great, but it's what we got basically as far as green goes. It has the hand counter blast Digivolve mechanic, of course, so you can Evo after your opponent triggers other when attacking effects. On play, when Digivolving, you're going to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and then return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with 5k or less DP to the bottom of the deck. It's good for dealing with wide boards. It's good to stop them from swinging. So if they have maybe a little body on board and they want to do some chip damage before they swing with their boss monster, you can suspend your opponent's boss monster down and then bottom deck the little body that's already swinging. Solid, but a little situational. Personally, I think this ace is a little better and the price reflects that, but also people are getting hyped up for BT16 bugs, so I get it. But Mega Kabuterimon Ace, this is $4 a pop, it's looking like. So he's going to run you about $16 for a playset. When you blast Digivolve into this guy, one of your Digimon gains plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. And then, if one of your opponent's Digimon is attacking, you can switch the targeted attack to Mega Kabuterimon Ace. So basically, if they swing with anything that's under 10k DP, you can just redirect it into Mega Kabuterimon Ace, kill it, and now their game plan is possibly shut off. And all turns, while it's suspended, it's not affected by Digimon effects, which is just really solid. It becomes a 10k beater on your opponent's turn when you blast into him that they have to play an option to get rid of or get bigger than. Next, we're going to take a look at our megas. There aren't that many generic megas because green is a very archetype focused color. So we've got BT13 Leopardmon. When Digivolving or main once per turn, you may play one green or a Royal Nitrated Digimon from your hand for the cost. And when you play it by that effect, you reduce the play cost by 4. So you're playing 4 drops for free. 7 drops for 3, etc. And then all turns when you play another Digimon, not by effect, just when you play another Digimon and Leopardmon's on the field, all of your Royal Knight and green Digimon gain blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's very easy to go wide with Leopardmon and set up a big board of blockers, which is great. And similarly, Leopardmon X Antibody is that but better, basically. I mean, they're both kind of situational, right? So you're gonna get the same effect, Digivolving. When Digivolving main once per turn, you may play a green Digimon card from your hand with the play cost reduced by 4. However, if you have Leopardmon or X Antibody in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you can further reduce it by 3. So you're playing something down for a play cost reduction of 7, which is huge. And then your turn once per turn, and when one of your Digimon is played, again, not by this effect or not by an effect, but just when you play something, you may, which is also huge, return one of your opponent's 5,000 DP or lower Digimon to the hand, and for each of your other Digimon, add 3,000 of the maximum DP this effect can choose. So by itself, if you only have a Leopardmon stack and you play something else out, you're bouncing an 8. But if you're able to keep turn and then hard play another thing, you're going to be bouncing up to an 11k DP, and it just steamrolls out of control from there. This is also an extremely cheap super rare, less than $1. Definitely pick these up before someone realizes this is a really good card. Finally, this is the big bad green boss monster. This is the priciest card on our green staples video. This is the Menace Quartzmon. When Digivolving, suspend everything. All Digimon, all Tamers. Then for every 2 suspended Digimon and Tamers, gain 1 memory. And then all turns, other than this Digimon, all Digimon and Tamers don't unsuspend. And finally, when attacking, suspend something. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then trash the top card of your opponent's security stack for every 5 suspended Digimon and or Tamers. So this punishes wide boards. This gives you a boost if you're going wide, which a couple of green decks really like to do. And it's really hard to deal with. It's a 15k beater. If you have Nyaromon under, it's a 16k beater. It's trashing security probably every turn. It's shutting things down. They need to play an option or find a way to get bigger than it to swing over it. It's just a really oppressive card. And the price reflects that. Okay, this is nearly a $20 card, basically. We're in the 16s for a little while here. This isn't a market watch video, but this is an expensive card. Luckily, most green decks only play this as 1 or maybe 2 of, so you don't need to pick up a full playset of this, but definitely grab 1 or 2 and shuffle it around your green decks if you don't feel like shelling out a ton of money for each time you want to play a Quartzmon. Great card. Now we'll move on to our Tamer, which is just Mimi. And Mimi, even though she got a Resurgence booster reprint, she's still pretty pricey. We're looking at $4 or $5 for a Mimi. Even this reprint one, the original printing is about the same price, I'm pretty sure. But she's a memory setter, so she's a 4-drop memory setter. And then her main effect is really useful, really interesting, and really valuable. If you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this Digimon to hatch 1 Digi-Egg card to an empty space in your breeding area, or move 1 level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding area to your battle area. So essentially, if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, by suspending Mimi, you gain another breeding phase. And that's just really strong. If you have raised out your stack and you have 2 Mimis on board, suspend Mimi, hatch a new egg, evo something, suspend second Mimi, push out. And now you have a whole nother body on the board. So this is like Louie before it was cool. And she's just a really solid green memory setter. You'll see her in almost every green deck for the foreseeable future. And that's why she's still a $4 card. She is a memory setter though, so you probably don't play her at any more than 3 at the most, possibly 2. Some decks maybe even only 1, but great card, the best memory setter we have in green. Pick her up if you don't have her. Next, let's talk about the restriction option card. This card is busted. Hidden potential discovered. For no cost to you, next time one of your green Digimon would Digivolve, by suspending one of your Digimon, reduce the Digivolution cost by 5. So this is effectively Digisorption 5 on an option card. What can be said except here's a 1-cost Quartzmon and then I'm going to gain all my memory back. Here's a free Heavy Leomon. Here's a free Hydramon. Here's a free Quartzmon, or Quantummon, I mean. Hidden Potential Discovered is just really, really busted card. It's almost a wonder it's not at 0 instead of at 1. And every time you see this in your hand, you're just like, yes, I'm gonna be able to do some stuff this game because I have a free evolution waiting to go. So Hidden Potential discovered, it was reprinted in the Resurgence booster, so you can get them very, very cheap. And even before they were reprinted, they were very cheap. It also has a dope alt art, but that's besides the point. Pick yourself up 1 copy per green deck. It will go in almost every green deck you play. Next option card we're gonna look at is Samadhi Santi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's how I'm gonna say it. For 1 cost, very cheap. By suspending one of your Digimon, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, and then the opponent's card suspended by that effect can't unsuspend until the end of their next turn. So this can counter Red Hybrid because you can suspend down a Tamer and stop him from unsuspending. And a lot of your effects, again, benefit when you suspend your own Digimon. So if you play this with the EX3 Pomumon that we were talking about earlier, you basically get to suspend 2 things for 1 cost, and one of those things doesn't unsuspend. So really nice card, very cheap card. Pick these up. You never know when you might just need a free 1 cost suspend. Next option card we're gonna look at, we're back on the Double Typhoon Advanced deck, Giant Missile. This is simply the best green removal option there is. For 8 cost, you suspend 1 Digimon, you return a suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck, and 1 Digimon can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. So this is crazy out of security because something's already suspended that swung. You suspend another thing, you get rid of one of those things, and then the other thing that's suspended can't unsuspend. This is just really good green removal. It is 8 cost, it is expensive, but rightfully so. The only thing we had close was Grand Del Sol, which you can play out for 6 instead of 8 if you have enough bodies on the field, but I think Giant Missile is just a really, really good card at removing things, and it's the best removal we have in green. And then finally, for our last 2 cards, we're going to talk about the 2 cards, you know what they are. This one is Green Memory Boost, and interestingly enough, I looked at all the prices of the Memory Boosts before I started this video, and Green Memory Boost and Agility Training, which we'll talk about very soon, are the most expensive boosts and trainings, respectively, as of recording this video. It could just be Bugs hype for BT16. Green, as I said in the beginning of the video, needs consistency. You need your search, you need your draw, you need to get set up, and Green Memory Boost and also Agility Training are going to help you do that. So Green Mem Boost, for 3 costs, you're going to reveal top 4 and add a green Digimon card to hand, and then it goes to your battle area, which you can then crack on a subsequent turn to gain 2 memory. Very simple. You know what it does, I know what it does. Great card. Pick them up if you don't got them. And finally, Agility Training here. These are running for $7.50 right now, and this guy's got quite the stock of them, so they'll probably be around this price for a while unless someone starts dumping cheaper ones on the market. Sorry, not a market video. But reveal top 2 cards, add any green card among them to your hand, including your 1 of Hidden Potential discovered, and then return the rest to the bottom. Then it goes to the battle area, and then you get to Evo later for 2 less into a green Digimon. So Agility Training, just really good. And yeah, I think that about covers all of the green staples. Thank you so much for watching. Were there any staple cards that you would add on? Any honorable mentions? I can think of a few maybe. Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.